This is not real. I was just number one at the space a couple weeks ago. This is not real. Anyway, talking about the people who influence us in our lives, the people who influence me the most are little people. And the reason is, well, I'm going to show you what the reasons are. But my grandson is out here with me today, and we've already found out that memory is imperfect, because the same situation that I told him, we both have different memories. But I'm on the stage, too bad, your memory isn't going to be told. Anyway, the reason I say that little people influence me, because they're honest, because they're not judgmental. For the most part, they haven't learned to lie and manipulate yet. So 3, 4, 5-year-olds, the thing is that we can't hear them, because they're little. When they say don't yell, don't argue, we don't hear it because we don't want to hear it. But I was with my grandson one day, and my husband came in from work, and he had a bug up his ass for something, I don't know what for. And he was ripping on me. And Nicholas said to him, he was just 3.5, he wasn't even 4, "You have to respect my grandma." So I want to tell you, first of all, my husband went ballistic that he's corrected by a 3.5-year-old. But I couldn't understand how he would understand that word at his age and use it in the right context. So it was a couple weeks later that I took him to his Taekwondo class. And what you had was you had a bunch of 3, 4, 5-year-olds who are sitting cross-legged on the floor, meditating with their eyes closed and quiet. How do you get a whole bunch of little kids to be quiet? And what I learned from that is they respected, their leader's not a sensei, but I forgot which one it is for Taekwondo. They respected her, and so they were learning the word respect from actuality, and he understood what it meant. So, how could that not influence me? First of all, he was my champion. He was protecting me from my husband. But, to know that he could catch on to those kind of words and live them. I took him to see Nemo. This is where our memories are different. And I remember taking him to his first movie theater, and we walked in, and it was very dark. Now, remember, kids are very logical. I never told him it was going to be dark. And so I remember him being afraid to be in the dark. And I remember leaving the movie theater that day. So we left because I can almost swear that the manager gave me back my money. Anyhow, I took him to that same movie, Nemo, a few days later, and he was ready for the dark, and it didn't frighten him, and we had a great time at the movie. And then we went to a fish restaurant. And there were stuffed fish all over the walls. And so my little grandson walks underneath the stuffed shark and starts talking to Brucey, if you remember Nemo. And people that were in the restaurant did not laugh. They smiled because I guess they understood, probably having small kids in their life. Nicholas at one point was taken to a wake by his grandparents. And when he slept at my house and he was telling me about the wake, his opinion was that not only was there one dead person in the room, that everybody there was dead. Because again, they're very logical. If we don't explain things to them, they don't get it. There was another time that his grandmother was training her dog to heel. Well, this is a little kid, he's 4 years old, and a heel is a body part. So he took the puppy and put the puppy at the head of the stairs to teach him how to walk down the stairs. And so what was he going to yell at the dog? Since heel was already taken. You're right, he yelled elbow. Because it was just a body part, but he was so logical. So these little kids are logical, and they're honest, and they see and talk about what they see and feel. Now, going to Nicholas's dad for a second, my son, David was one of these kids that when he flushed the toilet, the monsters were coming out of the toilet, so he had to run down the hall every time he flushed the toilets. But you know what? That comes from something that I never did figure out. But I'm sure that it was something we did. Because I was watching a science program and he came in and it was about Darwin. So I decided to explain the theory of evolution to a 4-year-old. And you know, he started crying because what he thought was he was born a monkey and turned into a little boy. And I think that he liked the monkey part better. So he cried. Anyhow, so what I would like to recommend to us is that we go out and find a capable 4-year-old and put them on the 2020 ballot and bring back honesty. Peace out.